Hello and welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen and today I am making a fun soap using these little pumpkin cavity molds. They're so adorable. I did these last year and I'm going to do them again this year. And this year I'm going to scent them with Blueberry Pumpkin Patch from Be Scented. And this is a fabulous scent. I wanted to use this because it's not pumpkin pie. Even though it has blueberry, it has a little bit of a fruity overtone, but it's not sweet. It's more like a harvesty pumpkin, like you're actually outdoors, you know, and you just clipped your pumpkins. Have you ever brought your children to the pumpkin patch? It's fun. And that's kind of what this scent reminded me of. So I wanted to do my pumpkins with that scent, and it does have vanillin. It will discolor. So we're going to play around with the color here for the orange, the pumpkin orange. I'm using my Adobe Orange mica from Wholesale Supplies Plus, and that looks a little bright, but along with the vanillin, I think this is going to darken up to a nice pumpkin-y orange, sort of a, I'm hoping it's going to muddy it up to a nice pumpkin orange. So that's the orange I'm using. And then on the top, the next day, it's a 2-day process. We'll pour the pumpkins on day 1, we'll unmold them the next day, and then I'm going to pipe some leaves and little stem twirls on them. I just love doing this. And I'm going to use Martini Olive Green for the stems and the twirls and stuff. So, and again, it'll darken up, muddy up a little bit with the vanillin. So I'm kind of counting. I'm going to hope that the vanillin is going to work in our favor this time. So, you know, let me tell you about these little molds. I found these last year during early fall at Aldi's grocery store. Well, they don't always carry the same thing. So I only got 2 of them, and when I wanted to get more to make a whole batch with these, I couldn't find them, but I did find them on Amazon. So I will leave a link for these in my store below. And they are kind of a 3D, I'm sorry, I'm wiggling around. The white is really glaring with the lights, but it's a nice, these make nice little 3-ounce bars, and it's a 3D because it has a little lip on it, so it curves around, and they're just adorable. If you didn't see my last video with these last year, check it out, but we're doing it again, so come along with me. Also, to kick this soap up a notch, I'm gonna put some pumpkin puree in the batter. Does a couple of things. It's a theme. I love it. Pumpkin is really great for your skin. It has a lot of vitamins and nutrients that are wonderful, and because of the natural sugars in the pumpkin, it will add as a lather booster. It creates a luscious, it's like adding a fruit puree to your soaps. It makes a great lather, thick and bubbly. So pumpkin is going in here and yeah, this is going to be fun. So let me get all the prep work done and get everything out and ready to go, and let's come back and make some pumpkin soap. All right, it's soap additives time, and I've got here my organic pumpkin puree, and this is just, I got it in the can, and it has no extra ingredients added, so this is just simply pumpkin puree, and I did water discount. I'm treating this as a liquid. So I water discounted from my lye solution for this pumpkin puree. So in it goes. Hopefully I won't plop here and splash. There we go. In goes the pumpkin, and then the other additives are going to be my oats and my kale and clay, and we'll get those all blended up. And also, let me show you, I decided to add a little bit of yellow to the pumpkin body just to give it a little marbling. I'm going to do it in the pot swirl when we pour. So, and the yellow that I'm using today is from Rustic Essentials. It's called Sunburst Sparkle Mica. So that's the yellow I'm using. So, all right, let me get the dry ingredients in here and get to blending. The lye solution, and I did put some titanium dioxide in the hot water when it was still warm because of the vanillin content. And I know I said I wanted the vanillin to darken up the colors, but I don't want them to go brown. So I put a little bit of titanium dioxide right on in here, and I'm going to get this up to emulsion and split for the colors. And I'm talking kind of fast because I don't know if you can hear it in the background. I am in the middle of a very strong thunderstorm right now, and I'm really praying that the power doesn't go out while I'm making this soap. So I'm going to just kind of scoot along here. I already had everything ready to go and the storm kicked up, and I thought, well, I'm just going to go forward with the soap and pray that we make it through without a power outage. So it's pretty strong out there. I don't know if you can hear it in the background or not. And I love a good thunderstorm. So after this, I'm going to go upstairs and have a cup of coffee and enjoy the storm. But for now, got to get this made. Oh, I pray that this power stays on. All right, let me pour off from my yellow, and then we'll get to the orange and get these in those little pumpkin molds. Back the next day, and it was kind of a perfect storm, pun intended. There was literally a storm outside, and this traced really, really fast. It was again the perfect storm. What it was the titanium dioxide and the pumpkin, which heated up the soap batter and caused the acceleration. I think I got it down in here. I had to get all up in here with my hands and mash, and I bopped these down. We did have a little power flash, so it cut off before I could pour this. This is a little tall, skinny mold that I got just off to the side, and so I have a loaf here that I'm going to be cutting also, but I'm loving the pumpkin orange today. So we're going to get these out of the mold, and hopefully I don't have too many air pockets in here. I did unmold one already, so the bottom's a little rustic, but look how cute that is, and I am loving the colors. So let's see if we can get some of these out of the mold and hopefully not have too many air pockets. And then I will let these just sort of sit for a day while I make another batch of soap, and I will make that batch a little extra large and pull off what I need to do the vines and leaves on top here. So 2-day process, and let's see. Okay, so we've got a little bit of some pockets there, and all of this, I think I'm going to be able to make some soap dough. I will try to do some repairs. These are going to be little rustic pumpkins, I think, but let's keep going and see how we do. I still love these molds, but preferably when you're pouring in a cavity mold, you want the batter to be more fluid so that you get all the detail. But I think they look great, even with the little rustic business going on. I'm happy with the colors. And for the most part, I think we're doing okay. So let's keep going here. So yeah, it's a little chunked up. Again, I will try to repair that, and I'll show you how I do that when I go in to do that. Let's try this batch over here. And these unmold really nice. There we go. This one's a little better. Aren't those just perfect? And I said they were 3 ounces. I was wrong. These are 4-ounce bars, especially after I get the little piping on top. It's a nice 4-ounce bar, but they're just the perfect size. I think these evoke all the fall harvesty feels, and they smell fantastic. So I'm going to stick with I'm still happy I used pumpkin, even though it was a bit of a challenge and that fragrance was a little bit of a mover. Let's get this out of the mold here. Well, let's see. I'm kind of crowded out. Let me move one of these. All right. So yesterday was a great example of why soapers should wear gloves, because again, I had to get all in there with my hands, and if I hadn't had gloves on, that would have been a terrible mess. So let's see. I just broke the seal on the bottom, and it comes right out. Loving the colors. Little air pockets here, but not too bad, actually. by the time I got to this loaf mold, it was firming up pretty good. I had to bang it around pretty hard and use my spatula, but I think that I'm not going to have too many air pockets and I'll be able to repair them. So this is a great little standard, actually not a standard, a tall skinny mold. I got this from Rustic Essentials. They had a sale going on and I tried a bunch of their micas and threw this in the cart also, and it's very handy to have for, you know, odds and ends leftover batter. So, all right, let me get the rest of these unmolded. We'll come back and slice this loaf and do some repairs on our little wonky pumpkins. All right, so I got all the little pumpkins out of the mold, and these are the little waffly edges that were around the lip. And because this was made yesterday, what you can do is, I'm going to wet my hands a little bit, but this can be smushed together and is now going to become my soap dough to fill in the gaps on those pumpkins or on this loaf of soap if there's any air gaps in there. So I'm going to moisten my hands and just work this up, but it's fresh enough where I can make a soap dough out of this, and we'll come back and repair those little pumpkins. So there we go. That overspill is actually working in my favor. All right, we're back with Olga to cut into this loaf, and I may actually do some piping on this loaf also, just, you know, for fun. Why not? Let's see. Let's do it like this. Yeah, so let's get in here and see if we have any air pockets. It's a little bit short, and that's why I was thinking of doing piping on it to make these bars kind of amp them up a little. Let's see here. Oh, cute. Okay, we do have a couple little holes, but these are beautiful. And let me just tell you, as I was back there, I threw the molds in my sink and ran some warm water as I was washing my hands after getting my little soap dough ready. The lather is already just fluffing up, so these are going to lather like a dream. But to make these a little taller, I might do a little piping on top also, because these are just too cute to pass up. So you can barely see the yellow in there because it was so thick. I had a really hard time getting a nice in the pot swirl, but I did get it in there. It gives it just a little dimension, so I'm happy with that. So let's go ahead and just get these off of here, and then we'll come back and fix those pumpkins. All right, we're back with our little pumpkins, and aren't those adorable? I mean, even though it was rough getting them in here, so cute. I'm loving them. So I took my little soap ball while I was over there doing dishes, wrapped it in a wet washcloth just to keep things nice and pliable. So that's my soap dough here. Let me see if I can find one that's got some pretty good chunkage. All right, so that one has a little divot in it. Let me grab off a little piece here. And it's kind of like playing with Play-Doh, you know? I'm going to come in here and just fill that in with my little soap dough and then smooth it out as best that I can. And there you go. No more divot. So I'm just going to keep filling in several of these. There's one. I'm going to put my little soap dough in there. And the thing with using your soap scraps to fill in divots is you do have to do it probably within 24 hours or so while the scraps are still fresh. Look how nice that fills in the divots though. These are going to be perfect. It's just going to take a little bit of time to fill it in. It's like playing with Play-Doh. So I'm going to play with my soap Play-Doh here, get all these little divots filled in, and these little pumpkins are going to be perfect and ready to go. I love it. I might leave a few of the little more rustic ones, just fill in the big ones, you know, because pumpkins are not perfect, right? They have little divots in them naturally. So we'll just fill in the more obvious ones and leave some of the more tiny ones just to be natural divots. All right, well, I'm going to keep going here. Let's see. Oh, there is a great big one, and I will show you how, when I fill that in, how I can make the stripes on my pumpkin. So this is going to require a good bit of soap dough here. Let's kind of get it mushed in there. And so it's flat. And then I can take my little, this is just a barbecue skewer I got at Walmart in the grilling section. I have a pack of hundreds of them. And these are so great for multiple different things in the soap room. I highly recommend having a poker stick. So I'm just going to follow the natural line down and make like little gentle divots and kind of mash them out so that the divots on here will sort of match up. There you go. Got my pumpkins pretty much all repaired and ready to go. I have my green mica with just a touch of activated charcoal in there to sort of give it this darker green color. And here's my lye solution. For my piping tips, these are generic piping tips that I have. So I just have a tiny little open hole to do the vines, and then just a regular standard leaf tip. So I'm going to get this blended up to a nice trace, and then we'll get to piping our little pumpkins here. Back the next day, and I'm so tickled with these, and the repairs on the little pumpkins came out very well. Isn't that just adorable? And I think these little bars came out so cute also. Super happy with these. Yeah, I am loving it. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you haven't found me over there yet. And I hope that you have a wonderful day.